Good evening, and welcome to this week's London by Gaslight, a late Victorian age Vampire the Masquerade chronicle set in 1892. Awakening for the night in the city of London this week is Eveline, the daughter of Cacophony, portrayed by Miss Hartz. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor state. Gain a hunger. Aldrich of the clan of Shapers, portrayed by Bully from Tablegoth. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor state. Excellent. Thurston of the Nosferatu, portrayed by Nitro Typepat. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber. Gain a hunger. Inspector Grey will be joining us at a hopefully dramatic, appropriate time. And if he doesn't, we're going to break both of his fucking legs. Slightly earlier in the week, within the Whitechapel house, as Sarah Lynn brings news to Eveline that has recently arrived. Mistress Eveline, I've just had a brief but informative discussion with someone. She said she said she was from the Sisters of Set. Does that mean anything to you?
Perhaps. What did she say?
Well, apparently she is one of the few remaining members. She said that many recently left, but there are some that remain and are in need of a leader. They'd like you to take the position? They said that if you wish to take up the mantle, then go to Marylebone. And she has given me an address as well.
Go to where?
Marylebone.
Marylebone. Well, I mean,
close enough.
Naturally, they choose. If you want me to say it right, you gotta type it. Naturally, they would choose me as their leader.
Very good, mistress. Anyway, I shall return to my chores for the night. And Sarah Lynn.
Thank you. You're doing a very fine job.
Sarah Lynn curtsies to Eveline and leaves her in her chamber, closing the door quietly behind her. No sooner has the door been closed when the familiar voice of Endymion fills Eveline's skull.
They need your guiding hand, Eveline. Think of what you could achieve. You could elevate your own standing. They are lost sheep. With us guiding them, you can provide succor and solace.
Of course you'd want to be involved.
Those that remain are mortal. They could feed us both. A source of sustenance for you, and faith for me. It would take but a small change in their beliefs to become our disciples, Eveline.
Very good point. How many times has us as a coterie broken up another cult that follows a demon that's gone wrong? Endymion has no answer for that.
And nothing.
It is very tempting, but we'll have to be very cautious.
Excellent.
I should go write some hymns.
Willpower check for me, please.
I will. I'm sorry?
Willpower check for me, please. Unless you're actually going to go to the address.
I was going to bring everyone with me.
No, fuck those guys.
Oh, okay. Well, then yes, I am going to go to the address.
You don't need some men to go with you. This is your thing, Eveline.
That's true. That's true. I just thought the storyteller wanted me to bring him along.
Eveline,
I will go, and on the way in the taxi, I will already start composing hymns in my head.
Eveline steps out of the Whitechapel house, and waiting for her on the road is a black carriage with gold lining and 4 large, long-haired, large black horses with eyes that glow with a subtle red. She enters into the luxurious carriage and places herself in the comfortable leather seats as the carriage begins its journey across the East End to Commercial Road. Eveline,
Marriage is definitely so much better.
as you are traversing through the carriage and probably writing hymns, what are you feeling right now? Going back to the brothel that once housed Patricia. Well, not the actual brothel, but the people.
Excitement, maybe a little vindication, because she still feels guilty about Patricia, even after all of that. But if she could take her place and run things the way she want to run them, might be better.
And, of course, the possibility to run the most exclusive women-only club, possibly the only women's club in London.
There will be lots of singing.
Nothing more fitting for a woman that deserves Eveline's standing in society.
She starts
Eveline.
composing all the single ladies.
Are they out of control or something?
Oh, single ladies. Oh, it's a song you don't. It's a new hymn.
Okay. Eveline steps out of the Whitechapel house, and waiting for her on the road is a black cat with... I'd help if I went on to the right fucking paragraph. The coach arrives in Commercial Road, outside the brothel formerly owned by Patricia. It's a strange sight to behold. Where once was a busy business, it is now just a lifeless building that people walk past without so much as a second look. The carriage carries on and enters into Marylebone. Eveline cautiously leaves the carriage and proceeds into the building she was told about. She finds an empty hall, cold and full of wind, drafts entering in through the various cracks in the floorboards and wall panelling, exposing them to the wintry London night. She passes through into a hidden back room and finds a small collection of about a dozen women sat in chairs and upon the floor. The moment Eveline enters, one of them stands with a hopeful smile and approaches her. "Mistress Eveline, you came! Have you come to deliver us?"
I will take her hand in between mine. Well, of course. We must live on, right?
"We must. We know that you were special. Patricia sought you out for your task, and only after being with us for such a short time. And we aren't all that is left. There are a few others. We are merely the ones waiting here, hoping that you would return to us."
Well, we must rebuild. We can make this into something great, and maybe I can be even half the leader that Patricia will.
You are willing to guide us, to show us the path. We are willing to walk it along your side.
Then, like I said, we must rebuild. We must have somewhere to house ourselves and to stay safe in these trying times. To stay safe from the horrors and dangers of men. We should start by fixing this up.
We can pool our resources, and we could afford carpenters to come and refurbish the area, make it warm once more, welcoming, only to women, of course.
Yes, perfect.
Is there anything you can give us or guide us with your wisdom in the meantime?
I have written a song to guide us through these troubling times and to give everyone hope. And I start singing all the single ladies.
Do manipulation and performance for me, please.
Oh, that's it?
That's good enough.
Excellent.
The women are inspired by your words. You have sown the seeds for them to follow the ways of Endymion. Is there anything you wish to do before you leave them?
I will leave them singing.
Slightly later in the week, the coterie awaken in the Whitechapel Haven and all head towards the meeting room, taking place in an appropriate seat before Aldrich is able... Oh no, we can't do that because... Fuck Inspector Grey. Each member of the coterie proceeds inside, taking their respective seat within the grand room, and as usual, Eveline enters last, making sure to draw enough attention to herself as she enters inside, and places herself down in her seat. The coterie have much to discuss, and with Aldrich now back, having recently returned from a trip to Oxford, the decision on how to approach Lady Anne is foremost on their mind. And also, they need to report in to Dirk, and inform him of their successful completion of the elimination of the Setite faction.
It's good to see you back, Aldrich.
Right, it is quite good to be back. I'll be honest, I missed you a lot. I assumed you've been well then. Or you seem in well. Actually, you seem actually better than when I left you. Why is that?
You think we can't get on without you?
I mean, yeah, right. I was surprised to find you alive, let alone better. It kind of hurts my feelings in a weird way.
I mean, I feel no difference.
I mean, you look better, and I see she's finally gotten rid of that weird doll hand.
I still have it, and I pull it out.
Oh, of course.
And it's doing this.
Well, I have had quite a trip, quite a successful one. And it's really gotten me thinking about a lot of things, about the future, right? Specifically our future. And it's looking... I think things are looking up for our little coterie. How have things fared on your end? I know I fortunately had to leave you in the middle of a few things, and I assume you've taken care of everything, right?
That's quite well.
Yes,
I'm
we
leader of a
took
cult
care
now.
Oh. That's new to me.
Oh, what'd you say?
I'm sorry, women only.
All right. I assume the Setai business still needs to be taken care of, though.
Oh, they're dead.
Yeah, most of the Setites are dead, yeah.
Well, the big ones.
The important ones.
Wait, so you actually did take care of some of the things?
We're not babies.
He's gonna shift and look Thurston in the eye.
There was Patricia. There was that man that the inspector was dealing with the cat club. He took care of him. I can't quite remember his name.
I know who you're talking about. These were quite a capable and dangerous kindred. Thurston, I want you to be honest with me, because we're honest, right?
Yes.
What really happened?
We murdered them.
Oh, right. Alright, who do we owe a boon to then? I assumed you got help?
No, I believe it was just Endymion wanted us to do it. It was...
Yes.
All right. Were you caught? Did you create another enemy in the process? Or the Camarilla after us? Where's Inspector Gray? Mithras killed him, didn't he? What went wrong?
As soon as
Wait.
as soon as he mentioned getting caught, Thurston will give a slight side eye to Eveline, but won't say anything.
Wasn't caught.
Almost.
You mean to tell me you all took care of a quite dangerous and complicated mission with no dire consequences?
Yes, actually, I'm quite surprised, as you are.
Not. We are competent. Even Thurston.
I did make some exceptionally good choices last week, but I don't think that they...
You exaggerate.
Only slightly. I
He had
don't
my
doubt...
back.
I did.
Well, I have to say this is not what I was expecting to return to, by any stretch of the imagination. I suppose I owe you an apology, because I truly thought I would be walking into a mess to fix, or probably one or two of you are no longer here. So this is a pleasant surprise, though. Do not mistake this for disappointment, just shock. Well, that means I think that bodes well. That means we really are. We might actually survive this thing then. Together.
With, what's she calling herself now? Your assistant. We're on good terms now, too.
Yeah, she's warmed up to you then. That's good. That's good. She's
And speaking of her, Aldrich, you remember the things that she was doing that made the inspector quite weary of her existence? Her sprees.
out of game. Do they know she's a Nesca?
Yes.
Yes.
I believe you told us, yeah.
Oh, I did. I told everyone but him, right? Right. I remember how she issues before.
Let's just say that ironically, the inspector seems to be slowly following in her footsteps.
It
Ironic.
has been a little off kilter.
I have noticed he has grown rather, let's call it cold, shall we? Quite unfeeling, that one, right? And
He's become fixated on feeding.
Yes.
that could be a problem.
It's less so etiquette for the sake of etiquette and more etiquette for the sake of efficiency.
Do you think he could be reasoned with, right? Or do we need to start taking precautions so he does not get the rest of us?
Definitely worth keeping an eye on.
Yes, not anything worrisome as of yet, but definitely something to keep our eye on. I did have this conversation with him about dragons he didn't seem to comprehend, but I guess that was just... What?
Not everyone is as clever as you are, Thurston. You might have to dumb things down for other people.
I guess so.
If he does go feral, as it were, there are uses for creatures such as that, right?
What are you gonna do?
But-
Keep him up in our basement?
Probably.
There's other creative solutions I can think of.
I don't know if I like that any better.
I mean, I found that a lot of creatures that others consider violent and dangerous and need to be put down, I have a way with creatures such as that. I mean, you've met Durston. Maybe I can have be a guiding hand for the inspector through these troubling times he's dealing with. We'll see. Either way, the city's not the best place for someone like that, though. And I have acquired some property, shall we say, outside of London.
You went.
If things go quite poorly here, I've arranged for us to relocate, as I know these next, the coming nights might be a little bit dangerous. They're going to go very well for us, or very, very poorly.
I mean, surely Endymion will keep us safe. Surely.
That's reassuring.
Exactly. It's. I think he'll quite like it. Not quite the art scene you're used to here, but we can make it our own. Speaking of which, what seems to be on our agenda?
I believe you guys wanted to decide how to deal with Anne Bosley. I'm sorry, you did.
Yes, it was a decision I thought best to wait for you to be around for Aldrich, because I feel that if we were to mess up anything while you were away, I did not want it to be that.
It's quite considerate and intelligent of you, Thurston. It really is. Our last conversation on the topic, I believe we might have been leaning towards supporting the good Lady Anne. Are we not? Have we had any changes to that?
But is Aldrich aware? I'm sorry, it's been a few weeks, so
Yeah, same. I don't know what Aldrich knows.
yeah, Aldrich knows that Lady Anne is who we've discovered is probably committing the Amaranth, right?
I think we more or less got... Yeah, our meeting with her, someone picked up on that. Or read her aura and picked up on that she's probably the one doing it. If you guys have I don't think we've confirmed it, if you've gotten any more information since then.
No. I mean, that's essentially what we've come to terms with, but we weren't sure how we should go about doing so.
Well, we have her at quite a disadvantage, you see. Her crimes, I assume these are not sanctioned by Mithras.
Definitely not by the Camarilla.
Right. And if they are sanctioned by Mithras, there might be a all-out revolt in the Camarilla, though I'm not sure it will do them very good. Either way, we've caught her in a precarious situation that we can leverage to our advantage. On one hand, if we, let's say, turn her in to Mithras or the Camarilla or whomever, she'll be eliminated, right? And nothing really changes for us. I mean, do you really feel like we will receive a grand reward for doing our duties? Because so far, they act like just keeping us alive is a favor. I've not seen any great benefits that we've not taken ourselves. Mithras has certainly not handed us anything, and in fact, he's removed some. And the Camarilla, I can't say have done much for us either.
Yes, and I don't really feel like I've ever felt we were going to get a boon anyway.
Now, I have this sinking suspicion that, right, at the end of the day, say we finally solve this grand mystery, and then it's just back to normal. All of our weeks of hard work and danger to our lives for little. And I do not do anything for free.
No, of course not.
I do have a feeling Lady Anne will be a bit more gracious if we were to negotiate with her. She does not have us on the ropes as Mithras or the Camarilla do. She's the only one who would need to negotiate with her. Right? And while we would be backing the underdog, which is more dangerous, the old phrase, the greater the risk, the greater the reward. And I'm not content living our unlives just being stagnant. So, I propose we make a move. A rather large move. A rather dangerous move.
We don't just become her minions, too. I would much rather be focusing on the theater.
Oh, I mean, we can let her think we are, to an extent. But,
Indeed.
at the end of the day, should we need to topple whoever's at top, we have a much better chance of doing that if it's Queen Anne. We don't stand a chance if it's Mithras or the Camarilla. Or Queen Anne with the Camarilla could help us out. Either way, I want to put someone in power that we can remove from power, if push comes to shove.
Who do you have in mind?
I mean, I'm fine. I do not want to be the figurehead, so to speak. I'm not sure any of us are suited for that. But there's a lot to gain by aligning ourselves with those at the top. It's worked out great with Endymion so far.
But if we back Anne, do we back Valerius? Is that a wise decision?
I mean, we have more of a working relationship with Valerius than anyone else, sadly.
It's true. Is Valerius associated with Anne, though? I mean, he even tried to tell us it wasn't her who was committing the crimes.
What we found, there seems to be some sort of connection there. And at the very least, they have a common enemy in Mithras.
I think many people have a common enemy with Mithras.
Those two are some of the only ones who have any, who might actually be able to do something about it. I don't know. Like I said, I'd rather bide my time with them than just stay where we are. Under others' thumb. There's just, the city's crowded. There's no room to grow. The only way for us to spread our wings is to clip some others.
Well, we definitely are good at that.
Right. So, are we in agreement then? We let Anne know what we know and propose some sort of agreement.
As long as I can get back to singing.
Of course.
I have no arguments.
I'm sure the inspector would have an opinion, but from the sounds of it, he's slowly slipping down a path that won't really matter in the end.
I wonder if we should be looking for him. This is quite unfashionably late.
Well, knowing the Camarilla, if he's up to no good, we'll know about it shortly.
That's kind of my point.
Well, did we get a message from Dirk, or do we just...
We need to
No, we
report
need
back
to
to him
just-
about the Setites.
Okay. Yes, well, I feel like if Dirk has nothing to say about him, then I feel we have... Or I don't think we have anything to worry about. Yet.
We could, while we talk to Dirk, maybe hint that are coming quite close to a conclusion. We could see, maybe, if there was a reward in mind. But I wouldn't hold my breath.
Is there anything you think the Camarilla would be willing to do for us that would sweeten their deal, though?
Not really. Right, they're all quite comfortable where they are. They have no reason to change that.
Well, I guess then hearing whatever boon they wish to grant us will be fun to humor them with.
Right.
I just want them to leave me alone.
Right, that's another thing. We won't really be able to be left to our own devices under the rule of the current regime. Right, they've got an awful lot of rules. They have an awful lot of things that they're not willing to share. Very well. Shall we report to Elysium then?
Indeed.
Do we know how to get a hold of Queen Anne?
Wait, yes. We had an invitation to a club.
That was a tourist club, which is members only. I don't think you're going to be able to blag your way in a second time.
Just ask for her. Ask how to get a hold of her. Tell her we're looking for her.
Is Queen Anne in the Camarilla, or is she strictly under Mithras right now? Or is she both?
He is Mithras's
Inner
thrall.
circle.
Yeah. But just in case you, because it's been a while, Dirk is not Camarilla either. He is under Mithras's purview as well.
Oh, I thought it was the Camarilla. Okay.
He's kind of the. You're officially Camarilla. He's officially Mithras, and he is acting kind of the go-between between you both.
He's the liaison.
Oh, interesting. Well, then we know it definitely wasn't sanctioned by Mithras, then. The Diableries.
The coterie head out to the streets of London. Get inside of Aldrich's awaiting, not as inspiring or luxurious carriage as it once was, seemingly. Each taking a seat and head towards the main Elysium of the city, over in the West End.
Black and gold carriage.
The Endymion Express. Is there anything you wish
I
to
can
talk about?
see how I'm the only person fitting enough to ride in such a carriage.
And as you step out onto the streets, you find Inspector Grey awaiting you, fucking up the overlay because thought it was fine and it wasn't. Sorry.
Goodness gracious, where have you been?
Pardon me, Lady Eveline. I've been rather busy, just taking care of business and the sort.
I'm
we
looking
can-
really close at him to see like if there's any blood drooling down his chin or anything like that.
As long as that business isn't anything that we'll have to deal with later. It's just good that you're here now.
Right, we were just discussing what to do about the Lady Anne situation. Do you have any thoughts on yourself, Inspector? I think we might be leaning towards letting her know that we know, and seeing if she's interested in making a deal.
Well, that does seem like a wise course of action. I take it you don't want to aid Mithras any more than necessary. That leaves us few options, Lady Anne being one of them.
Right, I just don't see our lot in life becoming much improved under the current regime. They have no need for change. In fact, they don't want it. Now, I'm not satisfied with what we have. If I want more, that means I need to start taking from others.
In
I
that
want more
case,
for all of us.
in that case, it would be best to side with Lady Anne, topple the establishment, so to say. And even if that gives Lady Anne a higher position and a more prominent position, we can aid in filling the power vacuum and we'll be that much closer to the top.
Right, see, your head seems to be on straight. The others were concerned that you were slipping. I think you're making perfect sense.
So talking about this out in the cold, and I get into the carriage.
I will proceed in.
Yes, it's good not to leave her waiting. You know how she gets.
You each take a seat inside of the carriage that begins to make its way across the city. Thurston, with this talk of revolution, toppling the established regime, taking on Mithras, even if it is indirectly, what's Thurston thinking and feeling right now?
I guess since this is more of an inner monologue, I don't have to be so strict about what I say. A little uneasy. He's always worked with the Nosferatu while not directly under the Camarilla. I mean, they are right now, but I know that they still have workings with, or outside of the Camarilla. But also having slight relations with the Cleopatrans, who of which they have as a harpy of the Camarilla. He's kind of just going with it because of the fact that everyone else in the coterie is like, yeah, let's go overthrow Mithras. But he still has his doubts, because he knows how powerful the Camarilla can be if it wants to be. And at the end of the day, we can try as hard as we want, but if we don't do it right, then we're just going to get squashed like everybody else.
Eveline, what are you thinking and feeling right now? You've got this plan to topple the establishment, which is probably of little consequence to you because you have just established your own cult and following.
Eveline doesn't bloody care. If anything, she will just be relieved to not have to do these little petty errands for someone anymore, and she wants to get to what she wants to do and not have other people bossing her around. So she's just going to go with the flow until she gets some freedom.
Is she not even feeling any apprehension at the thought of attempting to take on Mithras?
She's not thinking that far ahead. Eveline is shallow and stuck with her own wants and needs, and really isn't thinking about where this would go. This is politics that don't interest her.
Inspector Grey, I don't want you to feel like I'm leaving you out, but as you've just joined up with the coterie, do you have any thoughts and feelings? It is okay to say no.
Well, I mean, clearly this is the option that makes the most sense. There's all sorts of imbeciles and fools always trying to throw their weight around, boss the party around, lord their superiority over the coterie, and that can't stand. Obviously, Gray and by association, the coterie he's with should be on the top, and everything they can do that brings them closer is the right action to do.
Talking of people who feel superiority over the coterie. Aldrich, consensus has been reached to take on Mithras. I don't think the coterie would have agreed to this plan were it not for you. But you are at the cusp, potentially, of putting someone you think you might be able to control better than Mithras in charge of the entire city, perhaps even gaining your own notoriety and status of power within the city. What's Aldrich thinking and feeling right now?
Aldrich is quite paranoid at this point. In the sense that he thinks their time is limited no matter what they do, and he wants to at least go down swinging. Well, not necessarily swinging. He's sick of the people in charge having all the little people fight over each other for scraps, and he really wants essentially to shake things up and see the big guys fight each other for who's in charge. He doesn't really want to get super involved, and he truly doesn't have any personal loyalty one way or another. He just wants to see the people in power earn their power. He wants to make sure whoever's in charge, it's for a reason. He's been told Mithras is this and that, but he's not seen it. And either this will work out very well for him, or Mithras will earn his right to rule in Aldrich's eyes as able to hold the throne. Either way, Aldrich has a escape plan. He's probably spent more time planning on how to get the fuck out of here when it all goes wrong than he has on how to actually make this happen. Because he knows it's a slim chance, and he knows he'll be fine, or he believes he will be fine. He would like the coterie to survive, but it doesn't. He would be surprised if they did. We'll say.
This is the kindred with the highest humanity left in the coterie, everyone. I just want you all to know that.
Exactly.
Is there anything anyone wishes to discuss on the carriage ride, or would you like to arrive outside Elysium?
I wonder if the viewers can guess which member has the lowest humanity.
The coterie arrives outside the grand building that houses the main Elysium of the city. The streets are quiet for the night. Being in a more respectable area of the city, it doesn't raise any suspicion. The coterie proceed in and ascend the grand marble staircase that snakes around the warm, decadent hallway and enter into the grand floor of the Elysium. The stage is empty, but many tables are filled with various kindred engaged in conversation. Sat in a dark corner near one of the backside walls, in the shadows, is Dirk. How would you all like to proceed?
If everyone else isn't going straight to Dirk, I will go straight to the stage.
I don't. Gray would go straight to Dirk, but I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be saying.
Okay. Aldrich?
Aldrich will be going to Dirk.
Thurston?
I don't expect her to be, considering how she wasn't in, or the condition she was in last time I saw her, but I don't see Clara around, do I?
No.
Okay. Then, yeah, I'll probably have a look around, and then as soon as I see Aldrich heading over to Dirk, I'll follow.
So, Eveline, you're accompanying the coterie?
I'll head to the stage, get prepared to sing, and then when I see everyone go to Dirk, I'll just kind of hang my head and walk.
Dirk rises from his seat, gesturing with his arms for you to each take a seat at his table. Ah! Long time no see. Please join me, won't you? Before we get to business, as it is Christmas Eve, after all, would anyone care for a drink? It is a special occasion, I suppose, and not that anyone could tell. It was a bit
I
solemn
can't
and
say no
sad-faced.
I can't say no to a celebratory drink.
Very good.
Yeah, Christmas doesn't seem the same anymore. But I'm feeling a
Indeed,
bit peckish.
there
I
is
never
some-
turned out.
Wonderful. And indeed, there is something about the season this year that seems lacking compared with Christmases before. I'm unsure exactly what it is. It's just a feeling. But anyway, Master Aldrich. Drink?
Mr. Aldrich's French now. No.
Spectre?
Yes, I'm never one to turn down a drink. Please.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And he'll just give this stare over towards the bar. The barman will give a nod. Pour out 4 very sublime crystal glasses of blood and bring them over and place each one in front of a coterie. You may use this to slake one hunger.
Elegant.
You may all stake one hunger for drinking from this. Now, what have you to report to me? What new developments
You really
have
should
you?
do this more often.
If we did, no one would leave. And it would make Christmas even less special than it already feels.
We, perhaps have a, a gift for you. Well, almost a gift. I believe we have narrowed it down quite significantly on who is causing the problems in the city.
The Amaranth, I take it?
Wait. But of course, there is potentially an issue that I would like to have your opinion on.
Is it about the Setites?
No, these Setites have been eliminated.
Ah! Excellent work. We shall come to your reward for doing such after you bring me this intriguing news you have for the Amaranth.
Actually, that brings up a good point. What exactly is the reward for our work with the Setites?
Ah, as you wish. He will reach over, grab a silver chalice, open a wound on his arm, and fill it with his own blood. If you so wish, you may learn exclusive secrets of my blood.
All of us.
Indeed, I wouldn't bleed that much into a cup if it were just one of you.
And was it be rude of me to sample this now?
That is why it is there.
Yeah, Aldrich will take a drink.
And you have, unless you have, oh, you do, so that's not a problem. And you will be able to take 1 dot in Oblivion for free.
I just
Then,
expectantly hold up my hand, expecting to be next.
yeah, he'll give to Evelyn next.
So take 1 dot in Oblivion for free. Thurston, Inspector Grey.
Do you want to go first, Thurston?
Yeah, he'll hesitantly look at the inspector. Doesn't want the inspector to be too greedy about it, and he'll he'll take the next drink.
Dot in Oblivion for free.
The inspector will take the chalice last, and he will polish off the chalice and finish it.
And you, of course, also get 1 dot in Oblivion for free.
Cool.
Wonderful. You will find, as you gain experience using this newfound power, and it will be very useful for you. I understand, as well, since last we spoke, you have all had a meeting with Mithras himself. Our Lord is most wise and benevolent. The fact that you are here talking to me still means he has taken quite a shining to you. I, like many here, do not consider myself a part of the Camarilla, no matter what the ivory tower itself says. I am loyal to Mithras, as are the Primogen and Seneschal. Disposing of the Setites was a mutual agreement between Mithras and the Camarilla. Your service in the name of Camarilla will help your standing with Mithras.
And that perhaps takes us to our news. It seems, though I will not confirm or deny anything, as not have enough evidence, there is a possibility that the one who's been doing the Amaranth is in fact one of Mithras' own, someone in his inner circle. I'm not sure what the implications of such would be.
If it's a Tremere, it's a good excuse to destroy them and boot them out of the city and ban them once more.
If not?
Then we will take it on a case-by-case basis. Even the Malkavians have some use.
We are worried that if it does indeed turn out to be one such as this, that it will simply be our word against theirs. And of course, we do not have the standing that they have.
Indeed. A conundrum. But if you bring evidence that is irrefutable, then it can hardly be futabled.
Well, let us hope that is not the case. And we're still tracking down a few other things, but I think we shall know shortly at least.
Mithras holds a fair and balanced court. Matters of the Amaranth are to be taken with the utmost seriousness. He does not tolerate unsanctioned diableries in this city. If you do not have completely solid evidence, then I suggest you form something of a case, an argument that could be compelling enough to entice a god.
Good point. Well, I hope to update you in the near future.
I look
To
forward
let you
to
know
it.
that things are going well.
And now one final matter. I was considering contacting you directly, as I have a matter that should concern you, Master Aldrich, most of all. A kindred that is something of a fervent believer in the Anarch cause has begun a campaign of mischief across the city. As you are a person of upstanding quality and a businessman, at some point you yourself will be targeted. This so-called revolutionary has been disowned officially by the Anarchs themselves. He prefers a far louder approach to change. He has been working his way through various Ventru businesses and establishments, even going so far as to bring final death to some younger kindred. Normally, a blood hunt would be called across the city, but at this time of year, Lord Mithras hosts a hunt, and we can't have it disrupted. As such, I thought you might enjoy letting loose a bit and destroying this creature. It would also earn you some standing with Lord Mithras, which if you want to be able to earn back your property, you will need.
But of course, simply point me in the direction, and this will be done.
We do not have a location for him. However, you should see Corbin. He's in Limehouse in the East End. He's expecting you tonight. Head to an occultist store named The Next Place. Proceed straight to the room in the back. The ghoul on the counter will let you pass through. And word of warning about Corbin. He is of the Malkavian blood.
Do you have the name of the individual you're ultimately supposed to destroy?
Glenn.
Very well. We'll take care of this for you.
You have my thanks. Please go safely into the night. And Merry Christmas. Such that it is.
Bow. Take his leave.
He'll just be sitting back, and he'll raise his glass to each of you. Heading out of Elysium? Into the carriage?
I'll hop up on stage and sing one quick, hurried song before leaving.
Feline jumps onto the stage and gives a rousing performance of When I'm Cleaning Windows, jumps off the stage, and heads back down into the carriage. You don't know When I'm Cleaning Windows? I envy you. So, the carriage is heading, I assume, directly to the East End, unless you want to stop off for a bite to eat or other on the way. Is there anything you would like to discuss en route?
Yeah, Aldrich hasn't had his fix tonight. He's not hungry, but I'll swing by to take his drug of choice.
Anything to discuss?
Evelyn's not going to turn down a drink.
Dirk brought up a good point, though, about we all lacking evidence, right? Which I have no idea how to get more evidence, right? Unless we catch her in the act. Everything points to her. We've more or less through the process of elimination and a little bit of sensing her aura, pinned it down, but as well as catching her. I think Valerius also pointed towards her. But at the end of the day, I don't think that will be enough for Mithras.
That made me think of something else. Surely, someone involved with Mithras looks at the auras of the people around him. They probably already know.
I mean, or enough. They may know she has committed the oblory. That in itself might not be. Maybe she's done a sanctioned one. But they don't know all the other things we know. But this could all be, I suppose, some elaborate test of some sort. I don't remember. Did Lady Anne express ambition for power? Or am I just putting that in my head because of what I know of Lady Anne?
I think that's just because of what you know of Lady Anne.
If only one of us were a skilled portraiture, we could paint the scene and immortalize it so we could show it to others. If we caught the lady in the act.
Photographs are a thing at this time.
That's true.
Only if you stand really still.
Hey, you do know how long it takes to paint a portrait, don't you?
Well, I imagine someone like us, provided they had the right disciplines, could paint a portrait rather quickly. And portraits are so much more detailed and accurate than those photographs.
Right. If we are able to speed paint Lady Anne time of the crime, we will take that into consideration. Inspector, I expect you to keep a set of paint and an easel on you at all times, just in case. seem to be the quickest of us.
For someone who speaks so highly of wasting meals and blood and whatnot, you seem to be quick to suggest using our powerful, immortal powers to speed paint a criminal when we catch them in the act.
Like anyone will believe us then anyway.
I could paint her right now drinking of somebody, and we would probably be laughed at. Although it would be a beautiful painting, if it was done by me.
Very well, it was just a thought. Some way to catch a person red-handed without it having to be our word versus theirs. I suppose if we can catch them mid-diablerie and stop the act and preserve the life of the other individual, they could contest to what was done to them.
Have you ever stopped someone mid-diablerie?
No.
Or mid-feeding, that matter.
We'll have to see what shakes out, right? I would also like to go to her with stronger evidence. Though, it's better to go to her with weak evidence saying we know what you've done than it is to go to Mithras with weak evidence saying we know what she's done. You get further with smaller details with her. Either way, I'd feel more comfortable really solidifying this, just in case we're wrong.
Agreed.
The carriage comes to a halt in Limehouse, outside the next place. A candle is lit.
We're feeding first.
Thank you. GPS turned left when it should have turned right. And you all bundle
Wrong
back
turn
into the
out.
carriage. That comes to a stop in the East End outside Aldrich's upmarket opium den. Who is heading inside?
Yeah, I might as well head in as well.
You all head inside and find the shapely figure of Anezka standing behind the counter. As soon as she sees Aldrich, a large smile passes across her face. Master Aldrich, it has been so long since last I saw you. I was worried you had forgotten me.
Oh, no. I've just, business, you know how it is. Even a vacation turns into more work in my line. But I have held the place down quite well.
I do
I
my
thank
best
you.
to honour you. And she'll
You've
subtly
done phenomenal.
pass this ceramic bowl across the counter towards you. Just look at you. Nom-noms?
Right, I will leave some for you after I drink. Actually, I guess it makes more sense to do it now. And,
Thank you.
assuming no one's around, I will fill the bowl.
Do a rouse check. What's your hunger level at the moment? Yeah, don't worry about it. Won't make a difference either way if you're about to feed. And you'll be able to fill the bowl. Nezka gives you another smile. And again, ensuring no one is watching, greedily sips from it as if it was a warm, nourishing soup. I like soup.
Good soup.
Blood soup.
Miso. Are you here for pleasure or lunch?
Are the rest of you hungry?
I just wanted to.
I'm quite well, actually.
I'm not exactly hungry, but I'm never one to turn down a meal.
I've heard you've had issues with your meals of late, Inspector. Will you, do you actually need it, or are you just wanting to get your fangs in something?
I do not need it.
Alright, just something for myself and the lady.
Of course, Master. The usual additives, I take it.
Right.
Pleasure. Please, your room has not been disturbed.
Oh, so
Much.
it's already ready then. You were expecting him.
Always prepared to receive Master Aldrich, Mistress Eveline. And
Such good manners.
And Mistress, don't forget my invitation if you wish to have a night on the town. We could paint it red.
We certainly must have a girls' night out.
Thurston. That's it. Heading towards the back room. You'll head towards the back room, finding luxurious satin and silk cushions all laid out perfectly. You'll take a seat. Is there anything you wish to discuss before your meals arrive? It's very dusty in here. She needed to do a bit more cleaning.
It can't be dusty. She just cleaned it. I will try to nonchalantly look at the spot on the wall where the dagger was last week, just to make sure everything's all smoothed over.
Because you are deliberately looking in the exact right space, you will notice that the paint there seems a little bit new, and you can see it's been filled in and painted over to try and match, but fresh paint is obviously never going to be exact as paint that's already been there.
I'll act like I haven't seen anything. Take my spot on the couch.
Moments later, Inesca will reappear with two suitable vessels, prime of their life, freshly cleaned. Guide them to sit next to Eveline and Aldrich. Who would like to feed first?
I will start singing an upbeat one of those, two lovers met in a meadow type songs. Trying to entrance him as much as possible before sinking my teeth in.
Do your feeding roll for me, please.
You're picking all the songs Shiver doesn't know tonight.
Up.
Oh, single ladies. We're gonna have to make Shiver listen to all the single ladies.
Make you listen
Gotta watch
to
the video.
Napalm Death.
My favorite hymn.
Eveline proceeds to mesmerize her prey, giving a rousing performance of a song from a faraway exotic land named the Macarena. As she closes in on her prey's neck, she extends her 4 fangs that are hidden behind him and bites into his flesh, tearing into his veins and feeling his vitae swim down her gullet and energize her. You may slake. I wish I could say you could slake
I'm not
down
slaking
to
any
0,
hunger.
but yeah. You will get
Yeah,
a
I can't go down to
bonus die.
0, right? So,
You will get a bonus die to a pool of your choosing for satisfying your addiction. And the
that's what I was
mortal
going for.
will let out a sigh of pleasure and sink into the seat.
Hey,
Aldrich.
Macarena.
Aldrich,
Yeah, I'll go for the same.
you're also singing the Macarena?
Yep.
Okay.
It's harmonizing.
Would you like a reroll or success at cost?
I don't need any actual hunger. I just need to taste some blood. I'll reroll it.
Wonderful. Oh, and a crit. Get those crits in now when you don't need them. That's what I like. Aldrich taps his foot along to the beat as Eveline sings wistfully into the night, finding himself caught up, even though he does not know the tune, humming along, and also proceeds to bite into his prey, extending his own 4 fangs and piercing the man's flesh, drinking deeply from him as the body-warm liquid travels down his gullet and he feels himself being re-energized. You may also add a die to a pool of your choosing for the night for slaking your addiction. Is there anything you would like to do before moving on? Very well. And you will each stand and leave the opium den behind you, leaving a Nezca on the counter, who gives a gentle bow to Aldrich and a wink to Eveline as she passes.
I'll curtsy back before I scamper out.
Inspector Grey, if there's anything you wish to talk to a certain person about, now might be a good time to intercept them before everyone bundles into the carriage.
At this location, I don't think so.
I mean, there was the
You never know who's going to overhear.
Fair. And you proceed into the carriage. Is there anything you wish to discuss en route? Or would you like to just arrive at the next place?
I'm just humming to myself. Oh, 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 oh. It's a hymn.
The Reverend Mother.
I'll have you know that considering the lyrics, it's a her.
God damn it.
The carriage makes its way through the city, with Thurston making references that I don't understand along the entire route. Until finally coming to a halt in Limehouse outside the next place. A candle is lit in the main window that displays various books that promise forbidden knowledge. The coterie enter into the... Well, is there anything you wish to discuss before you enter inside?
This is our Malkavian we are dealing with, so I would prefer sit this one out. Thurston, Eveline, you seem better suited for speaking to them, so I'll let you take the lead on this one.
Got a bit lazy there, huh?
And I've yet to meet a Malkavian I did not want to pop the head off of, so it's just strategy.
It's fairly accurate.
Sometimes their nonsense makes a little too much sense, and I'll get out of the carriage.
Thurston? Inspector Grey?
Yes, I will accompany Celebrity.
Yes, I will step out of the carriage and proceed along with Eveline. Thurston.
Need a horse to water, but he'll still turn himself into glue. The trio enter into the warm shop and pace through the shop filled with thick, new books, tarot cards, crystals, and other various trinkets that market to those interested in the occult. The coterie stride through the shop, past a man on a counter that gives them a small nod as they enter into the back room, and immediately find themselves in a wooded room. Draped on the wall is a red blanket, in the centre of which, of the otherwise bare room, is a small round table surrounded by large, thick cushions. Sat across from the coterie, standing in the doorway, is a slender man, dressed all in black, and sat cross-legged upon his own cushion, and almost unnerving smile crosses his face as he looks upon the coterie. Good evening. I have been expecting you. Take a seat.
I'll curtsy and then try to prop myself up on a cushion as ladylike as possible.
Yeah. Nod respectfully, take a seat. Sort of whisper to Thurston, remember, we're just looking for Glenn. Find out where he is so we can get out.
Right. I will also curtsy and take a seat.
I will give a nod and take a seat.
Now, I need some blood from all of you. Here. Open a wound and bleed upon this. And he produces a large, thick piece of paper and a razor blade upon it and pushes it across the table.
No, thank you.
Bleed on the fucking paper or I'll cut your fucking throat open!
Well, if you insist.
Thank you.
I'll pick up the paper. Does the paper have any writing on it?
No.
Is it? So it's not like a contract of any kind?
No, it's just a blank piece of paper.
Cool. Just making sure it's not anything smart that a Markavian would be trying to do. Yeah, I would like, not anything big, just maybe a little nick on my finger.
Yeah.
Make
Do a rouse check for me, please.
bloody fingerprint. Fast.
Wonderful. Now you know
I
why
sit there with my
apolo-
arms folded.
Now you know why I apologise specifically to you, Eveline, before we started. Well, I'm waiting.
You've gotten his blood. Now what?
All of you,
Why?
because that's how it works.
Are you going to taste it?
Don't be disgusting.
I don't believe I left enough there for him to do anything worthwhile with it.
Please. Bleed on the fucking paper or I'll stab your eyeball out with a fucking pencil.
Can I try to do like a sleight of hand thing and like just like get someone else's blood that's already there on my finger and smear that in and make it look like I did it without actually doing it?
Yes, I'm just trying to think of what you could roll for that.
Dex, stealth.
Yeah, that seems suitable. Do dexterity and stealth for me, please.
Can I use fleetness for this roll too?
Show me fleetness. I think you might be pushing it a bit there. Okay. Do a rouse check for me, please.
Okay.
And dex and athletics.
Oh, I did it in the...
That's fine. Gain a hunger. Inspector Grey will give the appearance of bleeding upon the paper, but in fact using a smear that is Thurston's own blood upon it. The man will smile and nod at you. Thank you. Thank you very much. The other two?
What are you going to do with it?
You wouldn't understand if I explained it to you.
Try me.
Stop fucking questioning me, or I will stab you so fucking hard you will smile with all of your teeth whether you want to or fucking not. I love your eyes.
Every time this happens, Aldrich is like looking at Evelyn. He's never talked to her this way, and he's just like waiting for something to happen.
Evelyn starts humming.
I think you might have to do what you need to do with the... You've got half her blood. That should suffice. We'll meet you halfway. Now, please proceed.
I shall only tell you half the information. That seems fair.
Sure.
Okay. Man do bad things.
That's half the information. I can't imagine the other half's that useful.
Oh, that's where I put all the useful information. I never said which half.
That was 4 bloody words.
No. Blood goes on the paper.
Alright. Evelyn, how do you want to proceed with this? He's been quite rude to you, and I've almost shown him the back of my hand after that last one. We want to do our own investigation, or for the sake of brevity, would you like to cooperate with this imbecile? It was your...
I'm not giving him my blood until A, he apologizes, and B, I know what he's going to do with it.
How about you bleed on the paper twice?
Just looks at Aldrich. Like, okay, go ahead.
Sure. Throughout this time, I'd like to be making some adjustments. I want to go and bite my finger, but I want some of the bugs that live in my body to come up, and I'd really like to be like biting those, like, so just getting a little bit of bug blood guts on my finger. Then I'll smear that on.
Gross. I like it.
Is that a rouse check for any of that?
I mean, I have an unliving hive inside of me, so I don't know. Well, I guess a rouse check for the blood at the very least.
Do that then for me, please, and we'll say that's even.
But it's the bug's blood.
Yeah, but he's also got a...
True. We could say
his
I
chest hole.
probably used flesh crafting to rearrange some of my insides to
couple
allow
of-
them just come through my mouth.
Yeah.
Gross.
There's a
I
sentence
like
I thought, in theory, hearing it, I like it when they come through my mouth. Always as enticing as first you think. He'll just sit there. Wonderful. Wonderful. He'll give it a deep sniff. Oh, it's almost intoxicating. Then he'll scrunch it up and throw it into the corner. I have seen what you are after. We are all but pieces on a board, controlled by others that are pieces on a larger board. Someone with hands of night is moving a piece that is not his own. Hate eaters. Not fond of leopards either. You will need to find the man with a dark hand shadow. Once you destroy the puppet master, you will find the puppet. Search the abandoned church in Tower Hamberts. There you will find the thread that needs to be pulled, cut out. This is all I have for you. Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
Get
that
out
was
now,
almost
or
my
I'll
blood.
shove your head and rip off your head and shove it so far up your filthy cunt you'll smell fish for weeks.
I would
Sounds someday you will hear me sing. And I'll just storm out of the room.
He's lovely. I like her.
Follow behind.
And just kind of with a shrug, like,
Thank you, and please don't use our blood for any ill intent. And I will not and be on my way.
Good evening. Everyone heading back to the carriage then? Perhaps two people are sort of hanging back a bit, letting Eveline and Thurston get in the carriage on their own. Just saying.
I know, I hop right in.
Yeah.
I'll get into the carriage as well. It'll come, Shiv. It'll come.
My wife said to me on our wedding night.
To Tower Hamlets. Yeah?
Yep. And the carriage heads off into the night towards Tower Hamlets. Eveline! I'm sorry. Yet another indecipherable riddle given to you from Malkavian, as well as possibly an affront to your honor. But still, you have the information you need. What's going through your mind right now?
Evelyn is starting to settle down after being so offended by the way she was treated. But now she's away from that man and in her own carriage, even if it's not the really good one. And wasn't expecting much more out of a Malkavian. Anyway, we'll go check out this church, see what we can find.
Are you expecting any kind of trouble at the church, or really, what kind of trouble?
She's prepared for it, just because it kind of seems to be the norm.
Thurston, you witnessed Eveline being forcibly shouted at and insulted, and all it cost you was a bit of blood. So have some information. What are you thinking and feeling right now?
I've dealt with Alistair long enough that knowing that he crumpled up the paper and threw it in the corner, I'm not too, he's not too worried about it. I'm not too worried about it. Seeing Eveline shout at that is still a little vindicating. Just a tiny bit, especially after, last week, nothing really coming of, him not trusting her and then having to then save her own life. So still taking it where he can.
Inspector Gray, you were able to trick Malkavian into thinking that you'd bled upon his paper. You got to see Eveline shouted at. What's going through your mind right now as a near monstrous rampaging killing machine?
A waste of time. The information better be worth it. That fool tried to get my blood, me to bleed on that paper. Of course he wasn't going to get that. I wouldn't allow.
As a former detective, or inspector at least, are you having any thoughts on his prophecy, so to speak? Because I know you recall it perfectly, with your deidetic memory.
Right, of course. It is interesting, and he's hopeful that the information will be.
Very neutral answer. Odric, leader of the coterie, you fear Eveline, though of course you would never tell her as such. But
She
you've
knows.
you've just seen her shouted at, not exactly humiliated, kind of, and given information. What's Aldrich thinking and feeling right now on the way to Tower Hamlets?
The whole exchange was extremely uncomfortable for him because, again, he was just waiting for something really bad. He was, though, spent most of that meeting trying to figure out if this was someone important, if he has to cover it up when he dies, who he has to make a deal with in case this all goes sad. So it kind of worked out, but he's still just generally uncomfortable because that was a very dangerous situation. Not for him, though. He really took no joy in like watching Evelyn get yelled at. He also, his instinct was to like lash out himself, but he was sort of taking a cue from her. And if she could control it, then he should be able to. He's also. Oh, go ahead.
No.
I'll say he's also a lot more interested now that I mean he likes getting his hands dirty quite a bit, but this talk of there being a puppet master and another layer to this definitely intrigues him.
Given the information you were told, what are you thinking of that? What could the clue? Have you got any thoughts at all yet about what the clues could mean?
About who's really behind it or anything?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be anyone. He's not really surprised by there being like layers upon layers of like who's actually pulling the strings. It's sort of par for the course.
It's
More of a curiosity than a shock.
I don't think it's the first time that it has been more than implied that every kindred is some sort of piece on a board, but I don't think it's ever been outright said in such a way as this. Has that had any effect on Aldrich?
Probably not, especially considering who it came from.
That's fair. Well, on that note, before they arrive in Tower Hamlets, we'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. The coterie travelled deeper into the East End. Despite recent measures to try and improve the squalor and desperate situation, the city seems more dilapidated and neglected than ever. Women of the night stalk the streets looking to ply their trade despite obvious fresh wounds to their faces. The few children that are still awake are almost skeleton in appearance. Vagrants, many of which are amputees, lay crumpled on the floor, desperately clinging to use whatever they can to keep warm. For a brief moment, as the carriage passes by an alleyway, the ethereal, chilling sound of a bodiless voice calling for mother can be heard, reminding the coterie of what they witnessed the previous week. As you watch the city descending further down into despair, disrepair, and its people as well, what are you all thinking and feeling, knowing that this is likely the result of Endymion being given charge of the city?
I put on my galoshes.
Thurston?
While under different circumstances than his normal perusal through the sewers, it's not something entirely that he isn't used to, so.
Inspector Gray? Easy prey.
Well, I was just gonna say, with the food in such a downtrodden state, it makes prey easy.
And the Zemitzi Aldrich, who has the highest humanity, but also gave the city to Endymion. What are you thinking?
I mean, this
directly responsible.
Aldrich's made his living sort of employing and taking advantage of people in these situations. There's not much of a difference in this city from... This was a side of the city he's always known. But the difference, I guess, with Endymion is Endymion offers change. So while things may be bleak, maybe if these people were to dedicate themselves to the right people, whether that be Endymion, whether that be Aldrich, their lives could be better.
Are you heading out into the abandoned church, or is there anything you'd like to discuss beforehand? The coterie leave their carriage and has come to a halt outside the abandoned church's courtyard, where a dry fountain, still covered in growing moss, sadly rests. The path that leads up to the neglected double wooden doors is riddled with weeds cutting through the cracked stone slabs. The loose pieces of gravel and stone crunch under the coterie's feet as they approach the door, finding it unlocked. But Aldrich's supernatural hearing betrays the presence of people, mortal people, behind the door. He can hear several slow heartbeats and breathing. From his experience, he knows that most of the kind inside are asleep, but one is likely to be awake. What would you like to do?
Bless you, Nitro.
I could go for another bite if there's food in there.
Aren't you ever full?
I mean, do you need to be hungry to enjoy a glass of wine?
As someone who peddles in vices, Inspector, I caution you on your path. I enjoy them myself, but I have seen many times what happens when they get the best of people.
Well, I didn't eat earlier today. This would be my first meal. Remember at your establishment?
You'll have a chance to sink your fangs into something, I'm sure. But right now we're looking for answers. Though we're not sure exactly what we're looking for. Yeah, I'll just approach the door right here, the people behind.
You'll hear that one seems to be moving around. Others are asleep. It would be impossible to get an exact estimate of how many there are, but you don't think there's a huge amount.
Can I see which one is awake?
Yes. You'd like peeking through the doorway then?
Mm-hmm.
Inside the large cold stone church is a large number of cots. Out of the dozens available, you can see that only roughly 8 are occupied with sleeping men and women. Walking through the menagerie of cots, both occupied and unoccupied, is a man wearing a dirty green coat. His left sleeve is rolled up and pinned in place as he limps round the various cots in the room.
You there?
He greets you with a smile. Hello there! Good evening to you. I say, what happened to bring such fine folks as yourselves to bring you to my unofficial safe house?
Oh, I was looking for the person in charge, and I suppose that is you then.
Oh, no. I merely maintain the downstairs. Benefactor Talarin is upstairs. I say.
What can you Tell us about Talarian.
Well, judging from yourselves and your companions, let's say parlor, I believe you're of the same club.
It's kind of awkward. Maybe come in.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please forgive my manners. Do come in!
I'll step through the door.
Yes, now it makes sense. Now I've had something of a better look at you. Our benefactor is just like you. Are you his friends?
I hope so. I've not met him.
Ah, I see. Well, I know what you are. I know what he is. In fact, everyone in here currently knows what he is too. Tonight being Christmas Eve, of course, we've made sure our closest friends, no family, are here tonight. We don't keep secrets from family, do we? Nah.
And what is he?
Well, you're creatures of the night.
He's made you privy to that. How
Well, of
lucky
course,
for
of
you.
course.
What else has he made you privy to?
Well, that's mostly it. You'd think there are bigger secrets than being some sort of death-like super monster? Want to suck your blood and all that kind of thing?
I
mean,
don't
that's-
understand that reference.
That's all
You
the
haven't heard
biblical
legends
angels
from-
are, right?
Romania?
Very well. Right, are we free to, pay him a visit then?
Of course. Please, he'll be right up. I'll tell you what, even. I won't tell him you're coming. It'll be a lovely surprise for him. I'm sure he'll appreciate seeing good friends once more. Please, proceed upstairs. Wish I could go upstairs. I'm not allowed. Besides, the older... He'll give his leg a tap and you'll hear that it's wooden. Wouldn't let me go up such things. Far too narrow.
By the way, I'll have you know, my parlor is quite fashionable.
I'm sure. I didn't mean to cause offence, milady. Tally-ho and all that.
Upstairs we go.
I'll be like looking back at him every so often as we walk up the stairs.
It's a very fashionable parlor.
A small nook, built out of the stone wall, has a narrow wooden stairway that leads up, curves around. It takes the coterie to the upstairs of the building. The wooden stairs creak as the coterie head up the staircase, cautiously following it as it winds up to the second floor. Is there anything you'd like to talk about as you make your approach? Very well.
Trust these people.
Yes, they're very privy to disclose what they are with so many people.
And a bit too forthcoming.
Exactly.
That either shows that the benefactor is quite naive or confident enough in their position to dare someone to do something about it.
Then let's hope the former.
The stairs lead out onto the large, open second floor. The stone room is almost bare. Artifacts that vary in size from what appears to be small vases to life-size statues bear heavy drapes over them, concealing them from view, likely due to the offence they caused the kindred that has his back turned to the coterie, sat underneath a window and has been blocked up with anything to hand. The man is seemingly immersed in his work at a desk, almost overflowing with various papers.
You are Talarian.
You'll stand up. That I be. And you?
Concerned citizen. We were pointed in your direction in regards to A Glen.
Stay there. Come no further. What do you know of this
Pardon?
Glen?
They are a problem, and they are making some people very upset. And apparently that problem might fall onto you, as you seem
Problem,
to
you
bear
say?
some responsibility for him.
A problem, you say? Tell me more. A big problem? A small problem?
Perhaps you can enlighten us. I've already answered your initial question, maybe you'll answer one for me. Where is Glenn?
Glen. Oh, let me see. Be more specific. What kind of Glen? One that Robin Hood rides through?
You insist on making this difficult then? Should we just skip the pleasantries, or are you willing to cooperate?
See no reason to cooperate with you. You defy my sanctuary and demand questions of me. What kind of position do you find yourselves in? I don't even know who or what you are, where you come from, what you know.
I don't like
me,
wasting words.
You are obviously violating the rules of the Camarilla here by letting the kind downstairs know what you are.
Oh,
Indeed.
no. The Camarilla. Whatever will I do? Perhaps you'll report me to my doctors. Everyone, wits and awareness, please. Or intelligence and awareness. Oh, Thurston.
Always thirsty.
Oh, Thurston, indeed.
Thurston, you could re-roll the... re-roll all of
I could
them.
reroll-
Yeah.
Yeah, I could reroll 3 of those.
Oh, actually, yeah.
I'll reroll 3 of them, including the 0.
Lovely.
There you go. That's 3 successes.
Thurston and Inspector Grey will recognize the term ductus. And you will realize that this man is from the Sabbat.
Would I, how close am I to him?
15, 20 foot sort of thing.
Could I use traversal to just, like, instantly close the gap and then just try to grapple him?
Pretty sure you could. Show me traversal. Okay, so do a rouse check for me. And it's an open area, so your traversal will be successful. And grapple, strength and brawl versus his strength and brawl. I'm sticking with it.
I don't have a choice.
I mean, yeah, if he rolls 2 more, even if he crits on him, it's not going to do anything.
Inspector Grey turns into a blur as he charges forward and attempts to grapple with his opponent. Unfortunately for him, he is unsuccessful in restraining him. though if it is any measure of recompense, Talaran himself had to burn through a sizable chunk of vitae in order to dodge out of your way. As you notice the man standing there freely, the beast inside of you screams up. Inspector Grey is compelled to punish anyone seen to transgress against his personal creed, taking their blood as just vengeance for the crime. For the remainder of the scene, Inspector Grey must slake at least one hunger from anyone, friend or foe, that acts against a conviction of his. Failing to do so results in a 3-dice penalty to all rolls until the compulsion is satisfied or the scene ends. Do not forget as well, when you are feeding from kindred, your Bane also activates, and you are suffering from the Banu Hakim compulsion judgment. The coterie notice a small sound of pebbles and stone slowly falling that builds up faster to a torrent of rock as 2 statues step forward. The heavy dust-covered drape falls to the floor, revealing the visages of twisted, mutilated people either side of the room. Each one has an unlit lantern deep inside a hollow chest cavity that ignites itself as they step forward, showing the metal weapons jammed into former limb sockets.
Goodness gracious, why do they just not talk?
You can't be so flippant with us. Answer our question. This is not optional.
Silence your mouth, Cainite. And he'll just flick a dagger at you.
Try to. And
that's
would this?
going to,
Go ahead.
that is going to have your 3-dice penalty.
Yeah, that's right.
Superficial damage. Talan throws the dagger to his side nonchalantly. It whistles through the air and impacts into Inspector Grey's shoulder, causing some small amount of bleeding as it embeds itself between his collarbone and shoulder bone. And 3 superficial damage.
Mm-hmm.
Who would like to go next? Or
Silence. I'll show you silence. So what's are the statues in front of him?
they're in front of you. They're in between you and him.
There. Okay, so I would need to hit them first. Then I would like to sing at one of the statues. I don't really care which one.
Okay. Fuck me in the ass.
I mean,
Roll like that, yeah. How am I supposed to resist? 7. Jesus Christ. Very nice. Eveline begins her rousing performance of silent violence. Genuine song, good song. Finally one I know. And lets rip a sound wave that reverberates through the large stone and wooden room, impacting directly into one of the foe statues and sending it jostling back. It's barely able to stand, but you can see that blood is dripping from various pieces of its anatomy. Next.
I didn't kill it? Damn.
Close. You gonna go in there, Thurston?
Come on,
swing your
Thurston,
two-hander
get in
around?
there.
Yeah. I'll go for the one that that Evelyn sang at.
Okay, you want to go kill
Um,
stealing.
Yep.
Okay. With your big double-handed sword.
Yep.
Whack it in the face a bit.
I
Strength
mean, how
melee.
big is it? Can I even reach its face?
It's man-sized. It's human-sized. Forgive my faux pas. I'm just going to try and dodge with a -1 penalty. Like shit. It's 1. Oh, damn. Yep. Thurston takes his sword and charges forth, running it through the statue's body and slicing down. It lets out a gurgling, thrashing noise as it tries to reach forward for him, but drops to the floor as blood leaks out of the body, and the small lantern inside extinguishes itself. Next.
Can I eject the bugs and then begin my transformation?
Yes. That's a rouse check. That's certainly got to be a rouse check for the transformation, surely.
It is. And the bugs just happen. Sweet. They should give him a -2 to stuff. So essentially, since I've already rearranged the stuff, I'm just going to go mummy and just open wide and just let out a projectile vomit of insects so they could just go through the barriers trying to create and surround him to help us a little bit while I take a turn to start
Is this
turning into
the bugs on Talarin
Ew.
or the Schlachter?
Talarin.
Talarin. Lovely. Everyone, so it's going to be the one remaining Schlachter's turn. And he is going to shuffle forward towards Thurston with ill intent, as you just killed his friend, and they were only 2 days away from retirement.
Statues retire?
These ones do. I guess I will attempt to dodge.
Okie dokie. Fuck bollocks, I'm gonna willpower reroll because otherwise I won't get to do
I haven't
anything.
even rolled yet.
That's a bit more respect.
Okay.
Ah!
Oh, you've got one you can reroll, Thurston.
No.
You'd have to get a crit, though.
Well, he could get a 1 or like he could tie it up.
Time
Oh.
it still goes with the thing.
That's true.
No, I'm good.
Creature lurches forward clumsily and eventually is able to impact Thurston across the chest with some strange, jagged metal implement. You take 2 superficial damage. If you were a Kine, you would have the wind knocked out of you and various bones broken, but thankfully you are kindred and made of sterner stuff. Oh yeah, Talarin gets a go. Inspector Gray's really the only one. Oh no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. I'm completely wrong. Can't even read my own shit. Inspector Gray. Start of round
Yes.
2. Fight.
Alright,
That's what Evelyn's humming right
so if I use No, okay. I'll just to not get a penalty. I guess I just have to try to grapple and feed. If I try to do anything else, it'll be penalized, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But has Talaran actually broke any of your convictions?
Oh, he has to break a conviction?
Has to be someone who has specifically gone against your convictions. Or the closest to it.
The guilty must be punished. Always keep your sworn.
He's guilty of throwing a knife at you.
That's...
That happened after you went to your compulsion, though.
He's been telling everybody that he's a vampire.
Oh, you know what? He dropped that ductus line, so he's Sabat, therefore he's guilty of something. I don't know what he's guilty of, but he's guilty of something. And I am judge, jury, and execution.
It should be the subtitle Sabat book. Just Sabat, guilty of something.
He's guilty of something. I think we found the name of our episode.
But thanks for making sure to verify that, Shiv. Yeah, so I guess I'll try my luck at grappling to feed.
Yep, strength broke. Against his strength and broke. That goes to you. However, I'm going to reroll. Because that was far too easy.
No.
Yes!
Ah!
I mean, I don't get any damage for it, but he's not grappled either. As Inspector Grey lurches forward, dagger still embedded
You're
in
not
his
re-rolling
shoulder.
that?
I could only re-roll one dice.
Yeah.
I mean, you could re-roll 3.
Oh, never mind. I just
sorry,
looked
yeah.
at Talaran's.
Same. You could go crit fishing. It's going to give you like...
Even then he wouldn't get it.
6. No, that's not going to help you. Inspector Grey lurches forward toward Talaran, dagger still embedded in his shoulder, and is unfortunately easily dodged out of the way as Talaran gives Inspector Grey a bit of a spank as he misses. Talaran is going to look at Inspector Grey. Just give him this look. Oh, you are feisty. Come! Fisticuffs! And he's going to punch you in the face. Yes. You take a whole 1 superficial damage as Talaran quickly jabs you on the side of your face, causing you more humiliation than anything. Question.
That -3, man.
Bully, can he suffer from more than 1 compulsion at a time?
I thought you could. I don't want you to. I want the answer now.
I've done it before. But
Yeah,
I don't
know.
we have played it like that before, but I've never got direct consensus on other people saying, yeah, more than 1.
Didn't we look it up? I know we looked it up.
To do what?
Well, because he's got a bestial failure there. So would he get
Mhm.
another bestial compulsion on top of his current one?
I mean, a bestial failure doesn't mean compulsion. It means whatever you want it to mean.
True enough.
So,
That's
if you want it to be 2 compulsions or 2 compulsions, it could be any negative consequence. Or you could just say fuck it, because sometimes people roll so bad that they're constantly making you come up with ways they fail.
This is true.
I've been there. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's going to completely destroy any chance you have of getting out of this compulsion, because that's quite a strong penalty. So instead, you will feel the beast screaming once more in your skull. And as you attempt to subdue it, focusing purely on that which has earned your ire, you accidentally, without realizing it, burn through another point of vitae. Increase your hunger by 1. And yes, I do actually remember it saying that in the companion, if you're trying to look it up. Noscavian. Eveline!
I have not stopped singing, and I now focus on the other statue.
Okay. Go for it.
Ah!
Jesus Christ. Eveline proceeds to the second verse of 6 Feet Under's Silent Violence, proceeding to let rip another sound wave directly at the second formerly statue. It impacts upon the statue, shaking it, and breaks off small pieces of bone and skin. It drops to the floor on one knee and slowly rises as blood trickles out of every orifice. Thurston, kill stealing?
It wouldn't feel right if I didn't take the kill from Eveline after rolling that low. So of course I'm going to attack it.
I mean, Eveline, do you want to reroll just for shits and giggles?
Yeah, how many more zeros can you get?
4 of those dice actually weren't successes. Don't. He's nearly dead already.
Just finish him off.
Thurston with a consistent 4 on all of his melee rolls.
4's not bad. 4 is not bad.
Yeah, meanwhile, Eveline's getting 9 and 10.
I mean, 3 is like a default difficulty, so...
I know.
Thurston takes his sword and runs it through what's left of the Schluchter, driving it through the skin and bone until he finally reaches the hollow chest cavity and easily pulls the blade out. The Schluchter looks at him with an almost terrified look and falls backward to the floor as the lantern extinguishes itself. Aldrich, hulking out, I believe.
Yes. I'm gonna go after the main dude. Since he's already in combat, I'm just gonna try to go for just leap at him. Hulk for him. And, I can see that Gray's like scrambling to grab him, like fangs out and try to bite him.
Oh
right?
yeah, oh yeah.
Then again, we need answers from this person. I don't necessarily want Gray to eat him. It also doesn't seem like this is the type of dude who will give answers. We'll see. I'm gonna try to control the situations. I'll go in there and I'll just start swinging instead of grappling.
Strength brawl against his strength brawl. The -2 penalty.
For a haymaker. We're rousing too, because why not?
I always forget I can do that too. Oh well. Increase your hunger as the vitae rushes forth, focusing in your arms, legs, and fists. Fuck. Definitely.
No, I don't want to reroll because I don't want a messy crit.
Definitely grappled.
I know that wasn't a grapple. That's going for a. I'm just.
Oh, that's going
trying
for
to
the
beat him
smashy,
into torpor.
Mm-hmm. Lovely. Aldrich, in his new monstrous form, leaps forward, beginning to smash the Cainite's face against the floor, bringing double-fisted haymakers down upon his face, breaking rib cages and jawbones, and yet somehow Talaran still barely stands Inspector Gray.
Okay, so now let me know if this is going to induce a penalty. But I'm planning to use my discipline of blood of potency, and then provided I'm not at 5 hunger, I'll then try to blood surge, and then grapple.
I think that's all fine.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
link blood of potency. Do a rouse check for that.
Yep. That one is going to be at the dice penalty, though.
Oh, is it? Okay.
And is this a ritual?
No, it's just a level
It's
4 power.
It's a potency power, isn't it?
Yes.
Blood of potency.
It's a blood sorcery.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So that'll temporarily increase my potency by 1. And then I will do a blood surge.
Whoa.
Okay. So now I'm gonna have
Lucky.
a 3 potency is plus 3 dice, right? Am I
Yes.
wrong? Okay. Well, I guess I'll just. Oh, well, no. Now I'm gonna grapple him so I can brawl, and that won't have the penalty.
Correct.
So strength and brawl plus 3.
It's going to be against his strength and brawl.
And I will re-roll 2.
Yep, 3 and a 5. I'm going to re-roll 2 as well.
Oof, come on.
Desperately trying to keep you in this compulsion.
Luckily, that potency's gonna last for a whole scene now.
Don't think Talaran will, though, to be honest. He's got Hulk form Aldrich right there. Okay. Inspector Gray attempts to pounce forward onto Talaran, who is just barely able to roll out of the way, and lets a small spat of blood spit out of his mouth as he turns his attention to the far more intimidating, larger-sized Aldrich right there. And all he's going to do is just try and punch him. Giving the old Isaac stance boxing. He's as badly hurt as he is right now. He seems to be strangely enjoying this. This is an exhilarating experience. I haven't had a fight like this since a very long time. Balls. I'm gonna reroll 2. And Monster Aldrich. Oh, fuck me.
I think you still hit though, because I got 3 kills.
I'm going for Monster Aldrich. Not Inspector
Oh,
Gray.
okay. Disregard.
What are you going for here? Monster Aldrich.
We'll just fight back.
Okay.
Rousing all the way.
Bro. Oh, bollocks. I keep forgetting I can
one of
fucking
these.
do that as well.
First time?
I'm just more used to it being something that players do rather than SPCs, you know?
Oi.
Sticking with it.
Is he looking pretty bad?
Yeah.
So because as I said, I want to keep him questionable. I think I want to now we're sort of going into a grapple, specifically a grapple. 'Cause I'm assuming I'm much larger than Gray. I sort of want to pick him up and just like separate him from Gray. while just sort of squeezing.
Okay.
Yeah, I assume I successfully grapple him with that, although this is messy, so it could go
Aldrich
a number of ways.
picks up Inspector Grey by the collar, tosses him to the side of the room, which infuriates Inspector Grey, and earns Aldrich the target of his ire. As Aldrich subdues Talarin, restraining him, removing Talarin from Inspector Grey's bestial fury. I'm going to call that the end of combat.
So while holding him up, I'm just gonna essentially just mutter the words, just, "Where, Glenn?"
He'll turn his face to the side, and a massive spat of blood. Glenn was my agent to destabilize this city, attack the Ventrue, arouse suspicion, turn it into the Brujar Anarchs, and take advantage of a distraction for us to move in. You'll find Glenn. Mile End Road.
So Glenn is just a pawn. I'll go up to him and do a finger under his chin so he's looking at me. What reason do we have to keep you alive?
I don't care if you keep me alive or dead. My work was done.
I look at Aldrich. He said he doesn't care.
Next move. I guess Aldrich doesn't know that eating someone drains their humanity, right?
You'll only drop humanity if you attempt to diablerize him.
Right.
But I don't think you get a humanity hit in any way if you just, drain a kindred into.
No, he sees that Inspector's in a way, and he's about to just toss him to Inspector. I know out of game, if Inspector then drains him, that puts him in humanity 1, aka white.
Well, I think is it white 0?
Yeah,
White
I thought it was 0.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Still close.
I was gonna say I'm trying to think of an in-game reason not to do this, but I can't think of one. But
I think while you're having this dilemma,
And also,
now that
I'd like to point out as well, because of Blood of Potency, his Bane difficulty might have increased as well. Just throwing that out there.
yeah, hey, the dilemma was in my as a player's head. I don't think Aldrich would hesitate to. He tossed Inspector. He sees Inspector Farrell. He got the information. He's just gonna hold the dude between him and Inspector, though he might still go after him.
So if you're doing that at this point, I think Inspector would probably have recovered, and he's going to try to jump onto Aldrich and feed off of Aldrich, because with that messy critical, he's trying to feed off of Aldrich now. So I guess I'll roll to try to feed off of Aldrich, and if Aldrich wants to try to roll to stuff the body in front of me or between us or whatever, I don't.
Do strength and brawl, the both of you, please. I wonder who's going to win this roll.
Okay, I'll give you a hand. It's not gonna be. Oh.
That is absolutely going to Aldrich, and with a critical as well. I will let you completely control how you would like this to go down.
So, as I've said before, his Hulk form is 4 arms, so it's great for situations like this when another person jumps at you and you're. So he's gonna leap probably over the dude, and the other 2 arms reach up and just catch Inspector midair. And then
Now kiss.
yeah, I was gonna say sort of like how you like Meg Doll's kiss. He's gonna just do that with Inspector and this dude.
Works for me.
And you probably just hear in his deep voice, just kiss, just mash their heads together.
At Hunger 4, I don't think I'm going to resist that. I'm going to go for the food.
Beating roll for me, please. Give me 2 moments. Okay. Do your feeding roll, please. Okay, that's fine. And you'll be able to start feeding. Now, that's going to reduce your hunger by 2. However...
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not finished yet. I'd like you to do a hunger frenzy test for me at... Fuck.
Can I ride the wave? So I was going to ask if I can Diablo.
You're going to ask to just Diablerize him.
Yeah, so can I ride the wave? And, like, go ahead and frenzy and just try to Diabolize him in frenzy?
I'll cost you a willpower point.
Oh, will it? Okay. Temporary or aggravated?
Temp.
Okay. Done.
But you've still got to do the fury, the hunger. I think you have anyway. Oh, no, you're fine. You're just giving in to it. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're going for the Diablerie on this?
Yes.
For some reason, I don't keep the Diablerie rules on hand.
It's tabbed in the Gaslight channel.
So say you pinned him.
Or pinned, sorry,
I
yeah.
did? Fuck.
Yeah, back when we did Diablerie the first time.
Thanks, Pa Shiv. Alright. Strength. Resolve. Difficulty 4, please.
Okay. And can I search for this or not?
Yeah. Thank you, Sensitive Joy. What a great time to come in.
And
I blood surged for most
I
of mine.
slaked. Did I slake 2 or 3 hunger?
You'll be able to say 2.
Okay. 2.
Because if you wanted to slake 3, it would need 6. You'd be giving him 6, increasing his hunger by 6. Because for every 1 hunger you get, it increases his by 2. So strength resolve. Oh shit.
Can I willpower roll?
Yep. Because that would turn you into a white right here and now.
Make things interesting.
Whoa. Okay. Lose 1 point of humanity.
This is my gift to you, Shiv. I know you wanted a white.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's real hard to fail those rolls when you're this low. This is the only way to do it.
Humanity plus blood potency, yours. Versus...
Oh, I didn't think about this, though. It becomes so much harder to keep your soul the lower your humanity is.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm fucked.
This might be just a straight up... Oh, we're about to see how strong... Oh, I didn't think about that.
I might be fucked, guys. I have to roll
I didn't do that.
humanity plus potent. That's 4 dice.
Fuck me.
That's 7. Oh, no. You're about to be playing a Sabbat in the Inspector's body. Oh, no. I've never seen this happen. I've never seen this happen before.
I love it. He's all in his... I've never seen this. I didn't... Oh, I'm so sorry.
I forgot about this part of it. I forgot about the part where you have to... Because it's... That never happens. Because I've never had someone with such low humanity diabolized.
Roll. Okay, I'll just do... My dice pool is going to be 4, right? 1 humanity, 3 potency, so I'm just going to do a roll that's going to give me 4 dice. I'll do...
Get 7 successes.
I'll do charisma and manipulation. That'll give me 4 dice. I mean, that's... Look, I only have 4 dice I can roll. So, 1 humanity, 3 potence. That's a pretty good roll.
Oh, no.
I'm fucked, guys.
But you
So
get,
what's gonna happen?
Oh, hey, Joyce here. Beautiful.
first of all, you get...
Fine.
15 XP,
Ooh.
which you can spend
I won?
immediately, increasing your blood potency. No.
Oh, okay.
Even if you fail, you still get XP for each success. Which you can put up to a maximum of 4, or on Auspex, Oblivion, Prowess. However,
Well, you just lost. You just...
Yeah, I did.
We'll see how Shiv wants to do this, but
you lose
yeah.
4 points of humanity, which is going to put you at -3, I believe.
Yeah. What's the scenario where he takes over my body?
This one.
This
is it.
you're
This
in
one.
it.
We are,
This is
yeah.
the scenario.
Dead.
I thought.
If it makes you feel better, though, he immediately takes over your body and then loses his humanity. So, wait.
Well, wouldn't he keep his humanity?
He's
Yeah.
Sabbat.
It doesn't matter. It's an
What
NPC
spell?
now.
Yeah,
He's Sabbat.
yeah.
It's a Sabbat NPC. He doesn't care about humanity.
He's Sabbat.
But
Oh no.
it's not like it's not like my body will die. If the SPC plays his cards right, you might think he's me. I mean, it was... Oh, yeah.
So here's how we're going to do this. For the remainder of the session, Inspector Grey, you will be having an inner turmoil with this new voice that suddenly appeared in your skull, telling you to do the most inhumane and Sabbat-like things possible. This is how you end up playing a Sabbat in VTM V5. You will lower your generation by... Where is your generation right now?
Blood potency is 2. Oh, generation is
It's only lowered by 1.
10.
So you are Gen 9 now.
Okay.
Damn.
And you will have black veins visible in your aura for 3 years. Oh, 4 years, sorry.
Let's hope he lasts that long, yeah.
He's not.
It's gonna last a week.
And you are slowly descending into becoming either a White or Talan. And we'll decide that after the session, as you have this inner turmoil, which is going to be really good fun to play, I have to say, and witness. Good luck with that. And go.
So, yeah, I guess after...
So Talarn's body's dead now.
Yeah.
Completely
I'm
drained.
assuming he was old enough to be ashed.
Mm-hmm. And there is now
Yeah,
not
so
even
after
a
the-
skeleton left. Just a pile.
After
of
making him kiss, they latched on. He just held him there till eventually the one he was holding just turned to ash in two of his forearms. He would turn Inspector and look at him just to make sure he's not like feral still, because he was all over the place a few moments ago. I assume he has his composure now.
Yeah, I guess seemingly.
Or you're not trying to bite me, at least.
Right. I would imagine I'm fully sated.
Yeah, he'll just set the Inspector down.
Aldrich, you should really try that sometimes. It makes you... It's so satisfying. And that is the path to power.
He's just gonna so his finger's probably like half of his face. He just puts it on his face. Then he'll focus for a moment, and he'll start sort of bones breaking, extra limbs being folded back into his form, and he will start reverting back into Aldrich as you know him. Right. Well, we had him Mile End Road, right?
Guess we should go.
Perfect. Everyone feeling all right? It was quite a.
Did you see? I killed those 2 golem things. I'm quite great.
Honestly, you two are quite the combo. A very impressive team. Now I see why the Setites never stood a chance, even without me here. Alright, that did make me quite parched, though. So, let's go.
Thurston, wits and awareness for me, please. Don't panic, Inspector Grey. Sorry, Talan.
Sorry, White.
Inspector White? He's defeated the Balrog!
Amazing.
Oh, there's only one thing that can be played after you say that.
I do have that.
Why do you not sound surprised?
For times like these, bully, for times like these.
Thurston, you cast your gaze over to the desk that the kindred was sat at. Taking a quick moment to go and inspect. And you find the papers all stacked around are maps showing small cutouts of the city of London's West End. Various businesses have been marked with red V's. Some have strikes through them. You don't recognise all of them, but you do see the former steam room, the opium den that belongs to Aldrich, and a nice theatre that Eveline runs has been marked.
Probably completely unrelated, but does it look... The way it's marked with a V, does it look similar to that map we got oh so long ago that essentially... No? Okay. I thought so, but I thought I'd
I mean, it is also just like a B, so...
Yeah.
You know, it could mean anything. It could stand for vendetta. You just simply don't know.
That's about to make
It could stand for vegan.
Yeah, blood made out of vegan. Yeah. Irony.
Well, they've got a mark on where to find the vegans they need to deal with. Anyway. Sorry, Aldrich, go ahead.
No, I'm just. What have you found there?
I found a map. It seems that they are interested in your two's businesses. Threes. No, you two's is in Aldrich and Evelyn.
Use guys.
Use guys. Hey, they's interested in use guys.
Seems to be no one who does not want part of what I have. It's really starting to grate on me.
Yes, but at least we are ahead of the curve this time.
Right.
Let's go get this Glenn guy and hopefully prevent anything happening with this. Yeah, gesture to the map.
Well, you heard him. He wants to sow chaos in the city. I would like it to not be at my expense, but chaos provides unique opportunities. I do not agree with their tenets. I'm tempted to let them come in and stir things up.
Got the theater looking nice.
One of the theaters, because they took my other one. Though, of looking around this place, I kind of like the church aesthetic.
Terrible neighborhood, though.
Means it'll take them longer to find me here. Right, there's one last bit of business. I'm gonna go down to the room with all the people and sort of... I assume they're all awake now. I assume we made a ruckus.
Yeah, they're all slightly concerned and same man.
Right, everyone, on me. I need you to go. I'm gonna give them the location of our house.
It's not that
Go
far from
inside.
here.
Our house.
No. This place is a shambles. You deserve a more respectable area.
Are you sure, sir?
I am positive. We are already equipped to host guests such as yourselves.
Yes, plenty of room in the basement.
Well, this is most fortunate. After my years of service, serving in Her Majesty's Royal Armed Guards, coming back, my wounds, and then just being discharged, no longer thought of as even a person. I got nothing at all for my years of service. I'm glad that fortune is finally smiling down upon me and my fellows that were also mistreated so poorly by this system, this government, nay, this country, after we dedicated years of our lives to it. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You have our gratitude.
Find one of they call themselves the medicine men. Tell them that I sent you, that you're there for a vacancy. They will know what to do.
And the basement, you say?
Right, no, don't walk straight into the house. Find one of the men working there, and they have instructions.
Can you?
Yes, the vacancy in the basement.
Oh, I see. We asked them for the vacancy in the cellar. Lovely. Nice
let them know.
cellar.
Hey, say just Aldrich sent me. He said there was a vacancy for us. They'll take care of everything.
Oh, spiffing. What? Wonderful. Thank you, good sir. Kind sir. Good, kind sir.
He's already
Sir.
walking out.
And you'll just hear they're all sounding very happy and excited as you back out
And yeah,
to
the
carriage.
men will know that that's essentially a phrase to just hold on to these people. There's potential on if anyone can fix these people, it's Aldrich. They've already been exposed to vampiric blood, and seems like they're desperate for a leader. They could be interesting recruits, so just gonna send them through.
Enjoy your lab rats.
It sounds like most of them are maimed and injured. How grateful would they be for the type of replacements Aldrich could give them?
Exactly.
That's brilliant.
And here I thought you were just trying to feed the house.
I was hoping. Okay. I nearly forgot as well. Eveline, increase your herd size by 2.
Oh, yeah.
I nearly forgot. You step out of the abandoned church. Make your way into Aldrich's carriage. Begins on his travels through Mile End Road. At this juncture, having confronted what is clearly a Sabbat kindred once more, and the drama that has ensued since, Aldrich, what are your thoughts and feelings right now?
Sort of like we mentioned to the others, he doesn't, again, know much about vampire politics as much as, like, mortal and criminal politics. So, if this is another faction coming in to stir things up, he's very much, he's a Littlefinger type. Chaos is a ladder. He's looking for, this could be another thing to shake things up, and he might be able to benefit. Though he's not really interested in the Sabbat as a group.
Because you have been offered membership of the Sabbat by Andre in the past.
Yes. He thought about it, but he's chosen his master.
Thurston, you destroyed, with the help of Eveline, not even a little bit of help, you destroyed 2 of these enemies.
Knocked him over.
Proceeding on your task, you've even helped dissuade mortals find their way back, hopefully, to be of some use to all of you. And you are travelling to bring down Glenn, who has been either openly told or manipulated to sow and spread dissent and chaos through Ventru-owned businesses in the city.
Well, considering I struck those 2 creatures once and they fell down so easily, I feel quite proud of myself. Not really worried about the Sabbat thing, because we seem to have dealt with this Sabbat just as quickly and easily as we dealt with the last Sabbat that gave us problems. Even though it's, the Coterie and Thurston are all around the place right now with allegiances, he does feel good keeping the Masquerade secure by making sure that these mortals that do know about our existence are now under our own control or will be disposed of if not useful. So, I don't know. I don't really... If Glenn was just a pawn, then I'm not really worried about what's coming up with him. But feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah. Eveline, once more demonstrating your prowess with your vocal talents. Basically destroying 2 Schlachter almost single-handedly if it weren't for Thurston stealing both kills at the last minute. You've also witnessed Aldrich turning into a monster. And unknowingly, witnessed Inspector Grey turn into a monster. What are your thoughts and feelings right now?
So, she doesn't really care that much that Thurston finished off. I mean, she doesn't really go for that type of glory. But she's also not going to say anything because she wants people to think the same thing happened with Patricia. Not that she had to be carried. I mean, Aldrich hulking out in anything of that unusual, she finds it helpful. She's still suspicious of Inspector Gray, not because of a possible diablerie, just because she expects him to keep acting like he has been, which has been rude and weird. And she doesn't quite like Inspector Gray anymore.
All the
Yeah,
terrible
the
things
one
have
side.
happened, and that's somehow the worst.
And the Glenn thing, she's not worried about. I mean, if they can take down this dude,
I mean, he's just a common working class man at the end of the day, after all.
yeah.
Or that's
Inspector
what Shiv wants us to believe.
White Talaran,
Yeah.
what's going through
So-
your minds? All two of you.
At face value, Inspector is very ecstatic and satisfied after his meal. However, he's also having these memories or thoughts, creeping up in his mind. Or does he remember them before? Are they his memories? Something else going on? And I'm not quite sure if he realizes it yet or not, but he's losing himself. There's definitely something going on. He's getting these new thoughts and new memories, and I guess they're his. But he's not sure.
Do you like these new thoughts and memories? They would be quite sadistic in comparison to previous things.
Well, I mean, after he's lost so much humanity, he enjoyed. Even before he got as low as he is, he started enjoying interrogations, violent interrogations. So this is just maybe now with his newfound power and memories, he's finding new hobbies. Or remembering hobbies he didn't realize he had.
And is there anything you would all like to talk about before you arrive in Mile End Road? Inspector Gray, is there anything you'd like to talk to Talaran about?
I wouldn't know what to say.
Hi! So I hear you're taking over my soul and body. Yeah, sounds about right. It's roomy in here.
I mean, how do you have
Area.
that
Did you
conversation?
used to be a werewolf?
I used to be made of stoner stuff.
Or you will be. Time is weird.
The carriage arrives on Mile End Road. The large, long, open road and open area has only a handful of people in the area, scurrying around the street. The carriage comes to a halt outside the building that they know holds the Anarch, finding it to be a large poorhouse, a former warehouse converted to hold the throngs of people seeking shelter from the bitter London cold night. Getting inside? Talk before you go?
I'm still wearing my willies.
Yes, if that Tanaran was the pseudo mastermind behind this Glenn fellow, then I feel like we don't have much to worry about now, do we? I guess we just get in, get rid of the troublemaker, and then let Dirk know that the job is done. It was Dirk, yeah.
Right, in and out. We don't really need any answers from this one, so we can get our hands dirty from the start. Inspector, since you seem to be so hungry, you feel free to do what you like to do.
I'm sorry. What? I'm satisfied.
That's a first.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, everyone mark that down. Inspector Gray, not want to eat someone. In we go.
The
What
time
is
being.
this?
Did you just say we're going into a whorehouse to do the old in and out?
It's a poorhouse, not a whorehouse.
Evelyn, how dare you? And I go to. No, I'm kidding.
Giving you an XP point for that. That was good.
Since this will be a place that is occupied, perhaps I can clear the room first.
Heading in?
And I'll head inside.
Okay. The large open floor is filled from wall to wall with people sleeping rough, many even standing, glad for any kind of shelter they have at the head of the large, spanning converted warehouse is a collection of people quietly talking in front of a closed door, trying their best not to disturb people. Soul just not setting right, is it?
So people are sleeping in here, you said?
Yeah, this is a very large converted warehouse. It is packed with people.
Are there any other rooms or just one big open floor plan?
Just at the back, there appears to be a doorway. But it is.
Alright, I'll just head
currently
straight for
closed.
that.
And you'll be intercepted by the staff. Talking as, I'm sorry, sir, that's closed to the public. Your sleeping area is here, but unfortunately we are full for the night.
Is someone back there now?
I don't know.
Does it look like we're here to sleep? We're here in official business. We need to talk to the person in charge.
It's a rhetorical question.
Evelyn, can you perhaps give them a note? Can you wake everyone up real quick?
What is going on? I can't just
Right,
go with-
right. And I just want to start like clapping. I just want to get everyone to wake up.
Yeah, and
I
wake
will
up and-
start singing a good morning song.
they will be jeering at you. And you're
Right, apologies. Everyone, eyes here, eyes here. I need you all to go. Just wait. Go for a stroll around the block. Come back in half an hour. I would like to use mass manipulation on everyone in the room.
okay. Show me mass manipulation, because yeah, this one gets complicated, I think.
It's essentially just lets me use any of my dominate powers, but on everybody.
Will it be a rouse check?
Yeah. The
And
rouse
do the
check
rouse
in
check.
addition to walk around. Yeah, this would be submerged directive since it's an if. Since it's so it'll be 2.
Gain 2 hunger, but the roll will be free because they are all very unsuspecting mortals,
It's
Okay.
barely awake.
and they'll just look at each other. The staff will look at each other without questioning. They will just walk out, leaving you free to enter into the back room.
I want to grab one of them on the way out. The last one.
Staff member or one of the poor
Just
house?
whoever's the last one.
Alright.
Someone that looks like they could take a feeding and not be too fucked up. So I need a feed after that.
Okay. Sit.
So you grab takeout.
Yes. Whoever the last one is, just sort of take them as everyone else goes. Feed, and then let them continue on their...
Do your
Follow
feeding
those
roll for me,
instructions.
please.
Boo.
Oh.
Would you like to
Yeah, I
success
would.
cost? Excellent.
No, I'd like, damn. Yeah, I guess it's at a
Yeah.
cost then. Dice did not want this to go well.
Aldrich grabs the last member of staff as they head out. Despite the unpleasant odour, forces himself to extend his 4 fangs and sink them into the man's flesh. He loses his concentration simply due to the powerful stench emanating from the creature, and ends up accidentally draining him. You take 2 humanity stains as you discard the staff member like an empty Coca-Cola can as he drops to the floor, but you may slake 5 hunger.
That did not go as expected. Not wanting to leave a body, I'm gonna do ashes to ashes. Do a few droplets of blood, just disintegrate them.
Lovely. And the body will slowly disintegrate to nothingness before your eyes.
Right, I don't feel like fucking around with this next one. And I'm just gonna start hulking out right here and now before we go into the next room.
Okay. Another rouse check for me, please. Wonderful.
There she is.
And, smashing your way through to the next room?
I'll let someone else go first, just in case.
First,
Since I'm already in the building, I would be able to go through any doors without being invited, right?
yeah.
Okay, I'll lead with it.
Okay. Eveline walks through the door into a small office-like room. Pinned to the wall is a map of London's East End. West End. Standing in front of it, with his arms crossed and his face obscured by a flat cap, is a man with pale skin and plain, but at least fairly well-kept working man's clothes.
You must be Glenn.
Yeah. What is this? More bourgeoisie shit?
Our mission was to kill him, right?
Yes.
Without saying anything, I will just stab him with my scissors.
You're Glenn, right?
Dexterity
What?
and melee. Is it +4 bonus to kindred for damage?
Well, it's +4 damage. That's
I'm
it?
not even going to bother giving him a saving throw because that's going to be just completely unexpected. So, yeah.
Gray will call out while you do that. Eveline, perhaps we could use Glenn for our own agenda. Why do we need to kill him? We might be able to use him ourselves.
Yeah.
Why, are you hungry again?
Aldrich's going and swinging.
Please.
Although, non-beast form Aldrich would have been very interested to hear that.
He is going to get a saving throw, but it's not going to be a good one. Aldrich
Squish.
bursts forward into the room. Barely takes time to assess the situation. Extends his 2 hands and arms and smashes them over Glenn's head, turning it into a bloody, pulpy mess that just falls to the floor.
Think after watching Gray do it, if I knock this dude in the torport, I think I'm gonna eat him.
Guilty diablerie, is it?
Let him do it, yeah.
Well, Aldrich's never done it, but I don't think Aldrich's ever jailbreaked someone, right? No,
No.
I'm almost positive he hasn't. And he's been curious because he saw what it did for Thurston. And then the last thing, Gray like having that calmness to him, and I keep thinking of it in game out of game as sort of like a. So we've been talking about the vice and sort of losing control of devices, and that's the first time he's seen Gray like calm and at ease for a while. And to him, that's why he takes opium, is to feel that sort of thing. I mean, Aldrich's an addict, and seeing what it did to Gray, and Gray even saying like that's the best thing. I think him being a high functioning addict, I think it's really going to play on that. And this, if there's ever a chance to guilt or consequence free, that we were told to go kill this dude. So I think this will be baby's first diablerie.
I think the name of this episode is no longer going to be Guilty of Something, but Diablerie for you, Diablerie for you, Diablerie for everyone!
Diablerie, everyone's doing it.
Okay.
Double Diablerie.
The double D.
Okay.
Double D.
I mean, I assume you saw the rules up, right? Why would you put those away when you knew we were fighting more people?
Strength. Resolve.
This will be horrific in my beast form.
That's absolutely a success. You lose 1 point of humanity. Your humanity plus your blood potency versus disguise, resolve, and blood potency. One success.
Oh, thank God. Wait, we lose humanity before the roll, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Then yeah, I did it right.
So most definitely success. That's 10 XP to immediately spend on blood potency, which is only going to be 1, or you can also spend them on potence, presence, or celerity. What's your generation?
I don't. What did we start at? I never actually wrote that down.
I think it was 10 or 11.
Okay, so it'd be 10 now.
In which case your generation does not lower.
Oh.
And you will have black veins for 1 year. As Aldrich drinks deeply from Glenn's body, completely draining him, and then tapping into Glenn's heart's blood, making sure to ensure that the very last drop spreads down his gullet. He feels fed, more fed than he has ever fed before. A sense of satisfaction overwhelms him as he looks down upon the desiccated remains of the corpse of Glenn. Thurston, wits and awareness for me, please.
God. I'm re-rolling 3 of those. That's better.
Thurston, ignoring the scene of destruction before him, or trying his best to, notices that sticking out of a pocket of Glenn's working man clothes is a small note.
I feel like as the hulking form of Aldrich is just trying to devour what's left of Glenn's body, I just reach over with 2 fingers and try and pull the... Yeah. And I'll open it up and look at it.
It is a note from Valerius. It's mostly innocuous stuff. However, it does request that Glenn goes to meet with the Sabbat kindred known as Talern.
Sorry, what was what you said about?
It's
Did you
basically a
say
note that
Valerius?
says Valerius telling this guy to go and meet with the Sabbat kindred.
Ah, okay. Um. Well, Aldrich, are you finished?
Yeah, as he finishes, he'll come out of his horrid form. Inspector Gray, you are not exaggerating. That is. And they don't want us to do that, right?
It doesn't make any sense. Do you even feel hungry? Not only are you completely satisfied, more satisfied than you've ever been, don't you just feel more powerful?
This is truly the best I've ever felt, and I have tried everything that modern man can. And I see no consequences either.
There really aren't. In fact, you only get more advantages. Sometimes, I think I can even call upon the memories of those I fed upon.
I'm actually not interested in that at the least bit. I don't want to hear whatever the fuck Glenn has to say, but luckily it's all quiet.
Workers' control means of production. Shadow looming over Europe.
Think about the possibilities if someone won't spill the information, no matter how much you torture them. Just eat them and maybe you'll get it anyway. If you have to kill them anyways.
I see the logic of that, yeah.
I'll lean over to Thurston. Are you feeling a little left out?
Free
Yes,
healthcare for everyone.
I'm going to let Aldrich have this because I feel like with him feeling on top of the world, I don't want him to smash my head in if I say anything contrary to what he seems into at the moment. But Aldrich, I did find this.
What is that, Thurston?
It was a note in poor old Glenn's pocket. It appears that Valerius was the one that was sending him to what was his name? Talaren? I don't know.
Talaren.
He didn't ask one.
I already knew that, Thurston. You didn't know that?
Did you know that?
Yes,
We went to Talon to talk about Glenn. Of course, Glenn's been being sent to...
yes, but why is Valerius involved? With the Sabbat, no less.
That is most curious indeed. Keep that. We now have things on Valerius and Lady Anne. But let's call this an evening and let Dirk know that he accomplished what he wanted.
Would you like to play out the scene reporting to Dirk, or would you like to just return to your havens and say we did it?
Let's do this thing.
Yeah, either time.
Is he giving us a reward?
The union! You get a free union! Dirk will be very pleased with you, and he will say that he is going to pass this along.
Can we actually ask for a reward?
You can ask.
Ask for an audience with Lady Anne.
It
See,
shall
guys,
be
Diablo
arranged.
Diablo. does give you good.
Perfect.
You will return to the Whitechapel Haven. Anything anyone wants to do or say before we call an end to this session?
All the single ladies. All the single ladies.
See, all the single ladies need to meet It's Raining Men. Everyone gets something? I don't know. We'll call an end to this week's session. And now we have to have a paper, scissors, stone match over always guilty of something, or diablerie for you, diablerie for you, diablerie for everyone. It's the title. But first, thank you all for coming and watching. Thank you for coming and playing. Aldrich, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I'm Bully. I do things here again, which is nice after being gone for a few weeks. And when I'm not doing that, I am doing things Tuesdays at Carrying Comfort, doing some... What is the system we're doing? I know, it's Camp Half-Blood if you're into Percy Jackson stuff. And then go to our YouTube. That's where all of our things live. Or go buy our player's guide for Vampire the Masquerade with a bunch of extra options because there was lacking options. That's a storyteller's fault. And that's it.
Fun fact for you. Crossing my fingers. I might be playing in a game where we're allowed to use your storyteller's handbook, player's handbook, V5.
Really? A stream game? Or game?
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
Ooh, I would be super interested in seeing that. I got to play test it at PAX, and it went very well. So I'm hoping it goes well with other people.
Thurston, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I am at Nitro Type at practically everywhere on the interweb. I just looked, and we are 9 followers away from sending out invites for our play-by-post. So, again, if you're into play-by-post and you know people that might also be into play-by-post, send them our way and have them follow us, and then join the Discord, because that's where it's going to be. Links below.
Eveline, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I am Ms. Hearts. You can find me just about anywhere as Ms. Hearts. I am also a member of the Bat City Bombshells, and our next show is coming up on February 12th. It's our anti-Valentine's Day show. So if you are in Austin, keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, I'm not doing a whole lot other than working, so if you need graphic design or promotional products, go to gibopromo.com.
White, formerly known as Inspector Grey, formerly known as Talaran. Who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Well, I formerly played the Table of Horrors tabletop every Thursday. We'll see what's gonna happen now.
We'll work something out. Before we go, Raiden, I'd like to say it's been... Is this our second full year now of streaming?
Isn't it our third?
Shit.
We're not very good at time since,
Nope.
since 2019. It's all just collapsed. It's the end of our third year, then, yeah.
Yeah, we started before pandemic.
Yeah, just. But yeah, it's been a heck of a year. Lots of ups and downs. Learning new things. We've had someone from Tablegoth join us, and that was a personal victory moment for me, because it's like, I love Tablegoth streams, and if you haven't checked out Tablegoth stuff, please do, because there's not just fantastic games, but incredibly useful tutorials. And one of those presenters is particularly delicious, and you just think, I want to hold on to his beard and just tell him he's gorgeous. But yeah, I'll be
And now
sending
you
out...
can.
And now I do! And I'll be sending out a thank you note on Twitter to various people, and it's going to be a hell of a long one this year. But this is going to be this is our last proper session before Christmas, before the New Year. So thank you all for coming and watching us. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, or season greetings. Coming into New Year, we have a slew of new games, such as Homeworld, Transformers, Demon the Fallen. I have a Wraith game one-shot planned again. I'm sure there's others that I haven't said, and you'll be able to watch me slash my wrists live on air at some point.
That's against the terms of service.
Doesn't matter, I'll be dead. If you haven't already, check it out. Our links below if you fancy some merch.
Put on my mug.
Follow Discord down below, where we hopefully soon opening a play-by-post area. And if you are so inclined, check out the Twitter. I think that's pretty much absolutely everything. So again, thank you for coming and watching. Thank you, Ms. Hartz. Thank you, Nitro. Thank you, Noscavian. And thank you, Bully. We shall go
And thank you,
Shiv.
Shiv.
Oh.
Thanks, Shiv.
Oh, I'm torn. Do we go? Fuck it. Go
What?
Ken Daddy. Because it's Ken Daddy. But we can't go, of course, until Inspector Grey or Teleran say the line.
Stay a while and listen.
That was creepy.